I really understand why the stork was such a huge thing when I was a child. You know, the stork in the cartoons, they were really cute and goofy. They had the baby in that little piece of cloth all tied and then around its beak. And then he came swooping down and he gave a man and a woman a baby. He just, usually it was a man and a woman because it was very family structured, in the media back then. So it usually wasn't a single mom, is usually what I'm saying. But I'm sure, nowadays they would use that as well. But now I understand. Instead of saying that that man of that household is the one responsible for the child, I mean, that seems like it would be a very proud thing to be, right? As men and as society, we're talking about a society in a world in which has been male dominated since the beginning of time. And we're talking about the fact that, in TV and in cartoons, centuries, 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 thousands of years later, there is this depiction of a man, I'm sorry, of a stork bringing babies to families instead of the truth, which, of course, for children and things like that, they couldn't make it that vulgar either, right? But, the truth is that, and what manhood can be stood on is the fact that the man gave that woman a child. And that is so powerful when you think about it because, again, it's starting to create his own world. I mean, in which he's the creator because he gave that out. And then, you know, he sees it form within her, and she goes through great lengths to deliver his child into this world. And it is a very difficult process. Thank goodness in modern history, it has changed a little bit, but at the same time, it is still very tedious situation for women while they go through pregnancy. I know we make it look easy and all, but the truth is that it is a very tedious and a very sensitive time, a very scary time. It can be, it can really have big implications that are very negative to the woman herself, to the baby itself. And it's just a very, very hard time to bring a child into the world. Um, but thinking about the stork and how the goofy little stork brought the baby, and oh, the dad was surprised, the mom was surprised. They were just kind of like waiting for it to fall from the sky, but um, it really disconnected the truth. And the reason is because of the way that the world is structured. Without men taking responsibility for their children, they also won't take responsibility for women, which turns to no responsibility for community because they don't have any skin in the game. If there's no skin in the game in the community, then there's no skin in the game in the government, which is the greatest, law of the land. And if that's the case, things will begin to crumble because men definitely do have a strength and ability that is able to protect, and being a provider is a very important role. Things have really got scrambled up in this last century, and things are really going to new heights of how are things going to go in this world today. What is it going to be like, what is it going to look like for people that are a couple hundred years down the road, because we've kind of broken the mold, right? The mold has been broken. And it's honestly a travesty because there is so much strength in manhood and their abilities. Unfortunately, we have also come to a time where the abuse and neglect, because of the position, is breaking a structure. It's completely breaking a structure in which, number one, women want to be able to keep their children and take care of their children, even if a man wants the stork life, right? He wants what? I don't know what you're talking about. I wasn't even there. I didn't, nothing happened and you're pregnant all of a sudden. Like, I don't want this kid. Well, you knew you didn't want a kid before the bedtime fun, right? We have to get real with ourselves. There is only one reality. And if you are living recklessly in your reality, you more than likely will have fallout.